by adhering to that philosophy.
They did sign veteran defensive back Bo Smith, the former Ticat, this week. Here's Burris looking for Fantuz, and it's intercepted. Almost a highlight reel catch, and instead, Koshi Mwamba has his first interception of the season. Some of the Ticats arguing that ball hit the turf, but I think that's a good interception by Koshi Mwamba.
Yeah, my initial look as well, Chris, I thought the same thing as you, but a very rapid roller coaster of emotions here. Almost a phenomenal play by Andy Fantuz on the tip. I think he juggled that off his fingertips without letting it hit the ground.
Such great second effort by Fantuz.
Never hit.
And so it's the third turnover of the game by the Ticats. Second interception charged against Burris.
Time count. Winnipeg, number 4. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
But now it's 1st and 15 for the Bombers.
You don't want to pile on the Blue Bombers too much, but you would think in a situation where a challenge flag could possibly be coming on a turnover, that would be the last time that you're going to take a time count violation.
And as you can see, that ball up off Fantuz, but did not hit the carpet. So 1st and 15. Double tight ends. Simpson stays in the block, and they'll take a shot for Pierce down the sidelines. Can't bring it in. Tight coverage. Delvin Rowe.
Well, the attempted pass wasn't the only shot that Buck Pierce took on that play, as he got blasted by Eric Norwood just after he released the football. Norwood takes an inside route on his pass rush. He lines it. Big slap on the running back.
Even Evan McCullough sent on that play. Defensive halfback on the blitz. 2nd and 15. This time they send 4. Pierce, Vito Pobla, and Pobla makes the catch. It'll be short of the first down. Pobla seemed to fight that one, and he's been fighting the football most of the season, but does make the catch.
Really does. Injured to start the season. Guy who Winnipeg picked in the first round of the supplemental draft in 2011 out of Central Michigan University. Teammates with his cousin, fellow Blue Bomber Carl Volney, as well as Ticats Dan Lefevre and Greg White.
So Tavoy Moore is back. Mike Greneau to kick it. Moore's look dangerous. Not going to get a chance here as Renault has it bounce out of bounds just outside the 25-yard line. Henry Burris came into this game just over 1,200 yards short of 50,000 in his career as he continues to pile up the passing numbers.
And you see the best seasons of his career. He had set a new career high last season, over 5,300 yards. Of course, 2008 had over 5,000 yards in a Grey Cup winning season. He was the West Division's top player that year, but on pace for yet another career high at 38 years old.
He gets saddled with that interception. It's a completion, and Ellingson catching a first down. Up over to the 38. 6 different receivers for Henry Burris in this game. He has 9 consecutive games with 7 different receivers in a game. So somebody out there's missing. I think it's Andrea Jones, as he got a catch in the game.
Well, Andrea Jones was throwing passes today instead of catching them. First half touchdown pass.
Taking the rest of the day off.
That's it.
Gable inside, spins off contact, first down, C.J. Gable, and a lot more down to the Winnipeg 45. 25-yard pickup for C.J. Gable, his second 20-yard plus run of the season.
C.J. Gable seems to get a little bit more comfortable every week that he's in this Hamilton Tiger Cat lineup. I think you're starting to see him become a more explosive player, because this is a side that to me didn't show in his first couple of games. He's proven to be a far more elusive, far more explosive runner, it seems, with a greater workload, more involvement in the offense.
10 touches, 94 yards, and now they fake the swing. And Burris will look the other way and take off. First run for Henry Burris in 3 weeks. No rushing the last 2 games, but he just ran for a first down. The 11 yards for number 1.
And for Henry Burris, it's no coincidence that him not running has coincided with this team being successful. A lot of times early in the season, he would be their leading rusher, and it was strictly out of self-preservation. He was running for his life. But now the offense seems to be running a little bit more smoothly. Hank doesn't need to improvise quite as often.
Third among quarterbacks in rushing behind Mike Riley and Travis Lulay. Now gives way for Lefevre back in, and he's going to run. Quarterback draw, Dan Lefevre. Look at him work his way downfield, and then gets tracked down by Rennie Stephan, the St. Catharines native with the tackle. Was in there free and wild.
This is the other factor in terms of Henry Burris running the football a little bit less in recent weeks, is when the Tiger Cats look to get their quarterback involved in the ground game. It tends to be in what we'll call the Lefevre package.
So 11 for Burris, 14 for Lefevre, who stays in. First down, Hamilton. Rolling to the right side, and a completion in the flat. And Ellingson with another catch. 15 more for Greg Ellingson.
Doesn't matter whether it's Burris or Lefevre, this offense just keeps on ticking.
It's funny because Hamilton used a 2-quarterback system for a while with Marcel Belfay, and it wasn't very popular with Kevin Glenn and Quentin Porter, but no one's complaining right now because both Burris and Lefevre are moving the football.
As long as those roles are clearly defined.
Final play, third quarter. First and goal. Abel, and he is taken down immediately. Door shut in a hurry by the middle linebacker, Enoch Mwamba. But the Ticat quarterbacks have had some running success in this third quarter as they lead the Ticats to a 24-7 lead through 45 minutes of football in Guelph. Let's check the numbers through 3 quarters here in Guelph with the Ticats continuing to control it.
The thing that absolutely screams at you is 96 passing yards through 3 quarters of a Canadian football game. It can't happen. I mean, we've seen probably Dan Lefevre and Andrea Jones combined for probably close to that for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. They're just not getting it done, and Milt Stiegel touched on it at halftime, as we're starting to see more and more guys substituted into this lineup. You better believe that there's an evaluation process going on, and it's got to make you believe that there are going to be a few more guys walking the unemployment line come Monday.
I think there might be an airlift in the works. As for the Ticats, what's impressive is the developing balance in their offense. We've seen C.J. Gable and the quarterbacks chipping in with those rushing yards as well. Second down, Henry Burris with a completion. And there's Andrea Jones with a catch, so they do have 7 different receivers once again. But it will be third down.
Andrea Jones with a little smile as he's knocked out near the goal line. So he was hoping to add a touchdown catch to his touchdown pass on the day.
Looking for guys that stand out in Winnipeg. Number 7 just made another play, and he seems to be one of their standout players.
Yeah, DeMond Washington to me is a guy, he went through some adversity last year, starting the year as the kick returner. Had a big problem with fumbles, but fought through it, eventually earning a lot of snaps on defense, won a starting job in training camp this year, and he is, along with Alex Hall, one of the guys that you notice every week on this football team.
So here's Kanji, a short field goal attempt from 10 yards out, and he puts that through.
The guy's charged with turning things around in Winnipeg, Kyle Walters. their acting general manager. He was a star player here at the University of Guelph, first as a running back, later moving to the defensive side of the ball. Went on to have a long, successful career with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and later as the head coach here at the University of Guelph. Went from there to coaching special teams for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, now on to his current role in the Blue Bombers front office.
And you're suggesting his phone bill is going to increase in the next few days?
He's going to be a busy, busy man over the next little while, as you see him along with the Bombers' acting president, Wade Miller, trying to get things resolved. But Kyle Walters made this trip largely to do some scouting with Ontario Universities, looking to upgrade that Canadian talent in the future.
Start of the OUA season is this weekend. Excited about that. Right now, excited to throw back down to the sidelines, Matthew Shinetti.
As you're just talking about Kyle Walters, you're absolutely right. This is a big regime change for the Blue Bombers. I spoke to him before the game. He talked about his show, don't tell mantra, and it has a short-term and long-term vision. The short-term, we've already seen it. Marcel Belfay in as offensive coordinator and Sandro DeAngelis as kicker. And the long-term, well, he was here earlier this week going through a tour of CIS schools, and then he's also now going to be looking at the budgets for all the football operations. And Dwayne, you're talking about roster moves. He went ahead and said no later than by Tuesday some decisions will be made. And I asked him, if once you open the cupboard, did you realize how much work you have? He said, absolutely, guys.
Thank you, Matthew. Justin Goltz now in at quarterback, as for the second straight week we've seen all three Bomber quarterbacks, and his first pass is incomplete.
And Kyle Walters, a very bright football guy, worked hard to get himself to the CFL level, earned the position in the Blue Bombers front office. And I think that what you will see is, although he was working as Joe Mack's assistant, I think the fact is Kyle Walters will probably make some decisions in a manner a little bit differently than the things that his predecessor and former boss would have done.
2nd and 10, and a lot of moving parts in that defense, and the pass is complete. It'll be close to the first down, just short to Terrence Edwards. The receiver who you would think has the most security of anybody on that offense.
Well, a guy who went healthy as a perennial 1,000-yard man in this league, Terrence Edwards. He's also been one of the keys, kind of the go-between between Marcel Belfay and almost a translator for some of the younger players who have learned Gary Croton's terminology in the offense. Edwards, the one guy who was with Belfay in Montreal earlier in their careers, and so he's the guy who's able to sort of understand and relay in terms of what Marcel wants based on the terminology that the players understand from the old offense.
What a great catch that was, and then Moore pops up the football. And Hamilton able to get back on it, a 55-yard boot that will pin the Ticats. Ryan Polke, and the Ticat defense, though, has been stout today.
Well, we mentioned a little bit of a reunion for Greg Boyd of Hamilton when he plays against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. A couple former college teammates, Kito Pobla and Carl Holney on the other side. There's also a couple of his former high school teammates, the Mwamba brothers, as all three of them attended Father Gates Secondary School in Mississauga.
Ticats start deep in their own territory. Javon Johnson wrapping up Bakari Grant after a catch close to the 15-yard line.
Bakari Grant continuing to be an important target in this Hamilton Tiger Cat offense. And it's funny to think back a couple years when he came in as a rookie, and he was kind of overshadowed initially coming out of training camp by Aaron Kelly and Chris Williams, neither of whom are with the Ticats at this point, as he starts to really break out.
2nd down, pocket collapsing, and the pass short hops to C.J. Gable, and the Bombers get a 2-and-out deep in Hamilton territory.
Well, yet another opportunity in this ball game for the Bombers offense to get a short field, and we'll see if Justin Goltz is able to make any more of it than Buck Pierce did.
Punt team comes on, and Bartel will boot to Aaron Woods, who awaits near midfield. Woods had a 96-yard punt return touchdown called back last week. High boot, and Woods back inside his 45, but up across midfield. And a good return down to the Hamilton 43-yard line. So Bombers again enjoy good field position after a 22-yard return.
Sheets getting ready to face the Eskimos. He is 81 yards away from hitting 1,000 rushing yards on the season already. Eskimos Riders, Game 2 coming up.
Here, Dave, Justin Goltz in for his second series, the third Bomber quarterback to see action today. Handing it off, Chad Simpson, big hole, and this is a touchdown. Chad Simpson, 44 yards for a touchdown for the Bombers. Had a 75-yard romp his last visit to Guelph, and that one was too easy.
Well, with the size of that hole, he could have run another 75 yards easily. No one near him, no one even looking in that direction, it seemed, on the Hamilton Tiger Cat defense. He's just going to take it to the right, and you'll see this whole thing open up as everybody gets mashed down to the inside. Nothing but green turf in front of Chad Simpson from the second he turned the corner.
So one play, 44-yard touchdown run. DeAngelis adds the extra point, and it's 27-14. And with 11-11 left in a CFL game, 13 points not insurmountable.
Not in the least. Lots of time left if this Bomber offense can find any sort of consistency, as Hamilton has been relatively dormant offensively here in the second half.
Goltz, who's run for 4 touchdowns on the year himself, celebrates as Chad Simpson hits pay dirt, now has 68 yards in the game, just 7 carries for Simpson. But that one changes things a little bit. And it does have that feeling of a team falling asleep with the lead, doesn't it?
Well, it really does, because the Hamilton Tiger Cats weren't feeling a lot of resistance from their opposition through the first half of this ball game, and it maybe made that lead feel like it was a little bit bigger than it was. But as you said, Chris, suddenly Winnipeg Blue Bombers are just a couple of plays away.
DeAngelis the kickoff on Red, Jones on the return. And he gets met and brought down just short of the 40-yard line. So now an interesting series for the Ticats, who